And we're live. Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome. Sean, you want to say welcome to everybody real quick?
Welcome.
Welcome.
I hope everyone's having a great evening so far, and hopefully you guys had a very safe and enjoyable 4th of July. And I know you guys, on a Monday night, there's a bunch of different things happening, whether you're here with us tonight or maybe you're participating in one of the other esteemed YouTube channel auctions. Hopefully it is all fun and equitable. That's a mouthful with you guys. So thank you for not only your support of our channel, but for the coin community as a whole. So thank you. Let's enjoy ourselves this evening.
Absolutely. So welcome everybody. Sheila, Michael, Poppy, Jason, Rodney, Eric, everybody else is coming in. David Cunningham, welcome. So a little change of plans tonight. Unfortunately, our guest is, as we speak, on the road driving through Oklahoma City on a 20-hour trek. And we've been sitting here for half an hour. He's been bouncing in and out. His connection's horrible. So we're actually going to have him on next week. So we're rescheduling that. So pay no attention to our clickbait. We'll have new clickbait next week. But, oh, shoot.
Although, if anybody wants to share what they have currently under their bed, we would be more than happy to hear about it.
Oh, boy. I don't want to know.
I just turned off my monitor somehow. I don't know what I did.
Well, we can still see you, Paula, so
I can't see
that's
you
great.
Guys. I can't see you guys. I don't know what I did. Hang on.
Technical difficulties here.
Hang on, it's coming back on. Technical difficulties.
That's what you get for eating that seaweed stuff.
There we are. Oh, it was delicious. Stop it. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I'm sorry. Our guest is gonna have to be with us next week, but you guys are gonna want to stay tuned because it's a fantastic story and it's a fantastic find, and we want to make sure that we give it justice and give him a really good opportunity to tell his story because he deserves to have a little bit of limelight, and we're going to give it to him. So on that note, I'm going to let everybody go around and introduce themselves. Sean, you already spoke, so no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Sean.
I'm Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. You guys know me as Sean from Blue Ridge Silverhound. Welcome. I'm kind of like the resident coin person here that's been doing it for probably way too long, but I enjoy it that much that, I just want to stick around. And being a part of the live coin Q&A channel has not only been fantastic for my personal development in the coin hobby, but it allows me to be more open than I ever have been with you folks. And thank you for everything. And yeah, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. We're already up over 1,100. So yeah, we must be doing something pretty okay to make it this far. So let's keep it up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sean. Who's going next, Sean?
Let's see. Let's toss a little curveball to good old Carl.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa, hey, where'd he go?
Carl
He was there and then he wasn't.
I'm practicing to be a subliminal advertiser. One once, but it was only for like a split second. Hello, everybody. I'm Carl, also Carl or CMUS Omaha and Carl Omaha on eBay. I forget who I am sometimes or where I'm from. Next week, I'm going to be calling you from Michigan, I think. My forte is searching BU rolls and Lincoln Memorial cents, and I occasionally do a box of quarters and looking for varieties in those. I am here with all of you learning along the way. I like to chime in when I can. And what I know about, I won't try to talk about anything I don't know about. But I hope to add some provoking questions on the topics at hand. Maybe there are questions that you all have as well. And now we'll go over to Amanda.
Hi, my name is Amanda. My YouTube channel name is Coin and Card Hobbyist. I do a lot of coin roll hunting. I mainly like Washington quarters, and I'm also working on a very extensive set of foreign coins, trying to get at least one coin from every country in the world.
Awesome.
Quite a feat.
Who's next, Amanda?
Go ahead with Chris.
Oh, well, thank God you
Whoa.
waited to get to me because I was tearing up a little bit with Sean's heartfelt speech. I love the little messages on the blackboard behind them. I would put one there, but nobody loves me, so it'll be blank. Anyway, I'm Chris. I'm the resident goofball. I do know a little bit about coins. I love to collect them, and I collect everything from U.S. to foreign to errors and varieties and all sorts of tokens and ephemera. So can't wait to talk about tonight's show or the coins that were sent in. I do apologize. We had a special guest who we talked about had some technical difficulties. I was able to secure him for next week. He said he will be sitting right next to his router in his home office. So we should have him on next week. Sorry about any confusion that we may have created tonight, but it'll be worth it. We promise. And thank you all for showing up anyway. And yes, love me, Chris. I do, Poppy.
Poppy.
Thank you.
Who's next, Chris?
Jeff.
Jeff. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's me. My name's Jeff Stanley. Good evening. As far as my collection interests, I collect everything from everything U.S. coinage, world coinage, some currency I dabble in a little bit. I specialize in Jefferson nickels, Indian head varieties. Variety is of all sorts of every series. And I've got several U.S. series I'm putting together from, a Mercury dime set, Buffalo nickel set that I'm almost done with, and Lincoln head pennies. Right now, talking about stuff that's under my bed, you can see I've got kind of something going on. This was found actually underneath my father-in-law's bed. 10,000 Lincoln head cents. I'm trying to, a lot of modern stuff, and there are modern varieties I'm looking for. So it is a 10,000 coin sort I've been working through over the last couple weeks. I've already gone through the silver. I'm working on the pennies right now. I'm excited about what I'm going to find. I've done a little spot check and I actually already found a couple things already. So it's been a fun adventure. And it's actually kind of changes things up for me a little bit because it's not very often around here I can find the circulated Lincoln head box. Usually I get brand new boxes, which, for some people like to find those, but, not for somebody who's learning how to cut through them and search them and find good varieties. That's not a good thing. Let's see. Who's next? How about Adam?
And bringing up the rear, we've got Adam.
Hello, everyone. My name's Adam. I do a lot of, I like to collect Lincoln cents. I do a lot of wheat cents, Franklin half dollars. I do a lot of coin roll hunting. And I do a lot of variety cherry picking off eBay and coin shows. I also do some bulk grading. And I really enjoy this hobby. And I hope to pass along my good information to all of you.
Excellent. And that's the family. I'm Paula. Everybody knows me. I think. If you're new, I'm Paula Bloom. I don't have a YouTube channel anymore. You'll see me sometimes pop in and out of different channels under Coin Q&A. We all have access to it, so you never know who you might be talking to when you see us on your channel. I'm in a lot of the Facebook groups, usually making people mad by telling them they don't have what they think they have. And yeah, I collect errors and varieties. I am getting really, really involved in learning everything I can about errors right now because they fascinate me. So I love the idea of having something that nobody else has. Yeah, and that's it. So we have Coin Dragon, who's on the panel. He's in chat tonight. We have Blues Coins, who's on the panel. He's in chat tonight. We are still missing Shay Hoffmaster, Mantic Coins. He's on a sabbatical right now, getting some work done that he unfortunately has to be doing. Jeffrey Schumar, who's also on the panel, hasn't been with us a long time. He's been doing a lot of sales. And we are always missing our dear departed Professor Peavy, who started this whole thing. It's all his fault. Am I missing anybody else?
No. A few guests here and there that we have. Amber.
Yeah,
and,
Joe Cronins last
Jessica.
week. Yep, we got our mods, Jessica Johnson, Amber Pennell. Who else? Ida Herring's a mod. Redneck Stacker, he's a mod. So if you see any of our people in blue in the chat, say hi to them. Or maybe they'll kick you out. I don't know. No, they won't. All right. So are we ready to start? What, Chris?
Well, there was a question in the chat. It was actually geared towards Jeff, and they were asking what the cups are for, individual dates. Jeff, are you also separating them by mint marks as well, or are you just separating them by date?
Date. I could mint mark. I could kind of do on the fly. So I'll dump out like just kind of a visual here. That's only 2015. So I'll dump those out and I'll split them out on this mat by mint mark. Split them up. And it's the way to do it, the way I do it, the way my mind works, because then I'm seeing what that date looks like over and over. And when something is different, something looks out of place, then it stands out. Like
Are those all Lincolns?
Yeah.
That's
now, have you searched them? Have you searched them for varieties yet, or you're waiting?
Oh no, this is just the sort. It has taken me 2 weeks just to sort. Now there was a lot of garbage in with it. This is some 22 caliber bullets that were mixed into the bucket.
If you don't have a use for those, I'll take them.
The most valuable thing.
And no, I'm gonna return them to him. For some reason, he's carrying a 22 around, which I don't know if that's such a good idea, but for him. But
so, Jeff, is that how I know Chuck Daughtry did when he was getting ready to do the pennies? However many pennies are in circulation still.
Yeah,
he did a sorting, how to sort pennies and stuff. His way is really good. I can't remember where to find the link on it. I'll have to look it up. But
okay, I've followed this for like when I've done bags of wheats and everything before. It seems to work out for me pretty well. I forget there was something that he did. Now I am going to mark down what I have.
Doesn't he separate them by decade first?
Yeah.
And then individually.
Now, actually, that's how I did in the back here. That's a decade right there that I split up. Those were the 90s right there. Now, I just happen to have a lot more shields in early 2000s than those, but I'd split the 90s and 80s up into their little bucket here. And then I would go through and split them up when that little bucket filled up.
Chuck would sort them by the last number of the date.
That's right. That's right.
That
Yeah.
confused me. I don't see where that saves any steps or time.
Yeah. But no, this system has worked out well. Now, with as many as I had this time, I had to go out and buy new cups.
One thing, when I do it, I tried the sorting method, and to me, it seems like a gigantic waste of time. And that's just for me. I know a lot of people actually have to sort because of the date recognition. For me, I don't know if I have a photographic memory or what, but I can, if there's something different about it, I can pick it out. Sometimes I can even see it without even magnification. I can just pick something out. So for me, I don't feel the need to sort, but I do know that it's very beneficial for most other people. But as you can see, there's a lot of time invested in just sorting. So I save a lot of time by not sorting. You got 2 weeks invested already, and that's great. Once you get going, then it'll probably go a lot faster. But yeah, I just can't do that.
I'll rock through these pretty fast. To me, that was the hard part. Now nickels, nickels and quarters, I pull them right out of the, do it by roll.
Yeah. See, so you're in the same boat I am. Yeah.
Yeah, nickels. I go through one roll at a time, and I go through and I pick out everything, and then I move on to the next roll. And
I think once you're familiar with the design changes for each year, I don't know if you have to sort anymore, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll answer Nico K's question. Am I using a microscope? Yes. Once I get to the point where I am looking for the varieties, I will hit them probably with a 7x loop first, and then I'll confirm everything with the scope later on. And I'm just using a little cheapo $25 AM scope that I have on Amazon for varieties. It's been pretty good to me. I'll probably upgrade to something a little bit nicer, but I haven't had a lot of luck picking out a good scope, to be honest with you.
I have 2 scopes. I have a, I don't know, I guess it'd be about a 40X, and then the other one would, or maybe, I don't know. One's strong and one's super strong. That's all I know.
Yeah, and Martin Sisson's got a good question about the Corona. Anything that I couldn't read the date, that gets put in the junk pile instantly. If it just looks like garbage, I'm not going to work really. If I have to work that hard to pull a date off of a modern memorial scent, it needs to go in the garbage.
Reject.
Yeah. I mean, it's not worth it. Maybe if it was a 69S or a 70S that looked like it might be a small date, I might try a little bit harder with it. But or one of the Red Book varieties, but nothing else.
So Chief Stacker and David Cunningham are talking about a coin in the chat, and I actually answered the email earlier, and I didn't put it in the queue for the live show. But I have it up here. That if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to go ahead and answer the question because David Cunningham didn't know what the answer was.
Yep.
So they actually showed this coin. Hang on Ida Herring's stream this morning.
Oh boy.
And I wasn't on there to see it, so I went back and watched it, and then they sent it to the email, and I pretty much knew right away that it wasn't genuine. And Chris, you know, I don't have the reverse of it pulled up, but the reverse is completely normal. So one thing I noticed right off the bat was the reverse is normal. This person was told apparently that it was a double struck rotated in color, or in color rotated double struck.
Wow. So, with a totally different date?
Yeah, with a totally different date, and the reverse being normal. So we know, right, that if a coin is struck once, rotated in the collar, and struck a second time, both sides of the coin are going to be affected. Because both sides are striking that coin.
And there's going to be all kinds of different things going on. You're going to have weakness all over the place. You're going to show other details in the field areas.
Yes.
All we're seeing here is another date, which is a different date. Beats me on how in the hell they did it, because
I know how they did it because I messaged Joe Cronins about it.
Okay.
So an interesting thing that I didn't get to add to the email that I found out afterwards was Joe said this is a common 1951. This is common. There are several examples of it. There's a few other dates, but there's several examples of this exact same one that they did with soft dyes.
Okay. So maybe like a lead or some sort of softer metal that was able to. Oh boy, that's.
Yeah. But you can see see that little ridge?
Yep.
I think that's where, where the, part of the other die. I think that's from part of the other die that struck that, but it's only the date. There's nothing else. There's no other design on these dies. It's just like a date stamp, like a date die.
I'll be honest with you. This is one of those, man-made errors or whatever you want to call it. It's not even an error. It's technically damage, but I think it's really cool. It's a great conversation piece. I know enough to know that it's not real.
Right.
And I can also appreciate the amount of work that went into trying to fake this error. It's crazy the amount of time and energy someone put into creating a set of false dies or whatever to make this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And what surprised me when Joe saw it and said that, that's something that is, like a known altered coin, a known date and a known So, so it was pretty cool. I hadn't planned on showing it, but they were talking to each other in the chat. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and show it. So, but yeah, the big telltale when you have a double struck rotated in collar is that, there's always two dies, right? So if a coin is struck once and then the dies are apart and that planchet doesn't get ejected but gets for whatever stuck to one of the dies or whatever and then dropped and rotated and back in the collar or somehow gets rotated in the collar and struck again, it's being struck by both dies a second time. So both sides are going to be double struck. So yeah, but it is cool. I would keep it. Well, henning is a whole nother thing. Henning is like fake everything. Fake planchet, fake dies, fake everything. This is actually a real coin. It's a real wheat cent. It's a real 1954D that somebody just altered with a second date to try to make it look like a legitimate double struck. So does that make sense? Does that make sense, David? I know that you had a lot of questions about it. But thanks for letting me share that, you guys.
Yeah, it's complicated. Even as a counterfeit error, it's a pretty complicated piece. So
yeah,
a lot going on with it.
No, not struck through grease. You would have to have a big, huge blob of nothing but grease for that first strike to have both sides completely obliterated. Yeah, no. That goes back to a little thing called Occam's razor, which is basically keep it simple, stupid. Usually the most simple explanation to something is the correct one. And when you try to make like scenarios up in your head. It gets like, just keep it simple. Keep it to the minting process and understand that some things just, just can't happen. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Anyway, okay. Do we want to start looking at the email?
Yeah, let's do it.
So
Let's do it, baby.
Gary's.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute myself.
What's eating, Sean?
Dinner.
Nut and honey.
Nut and honey.
The cereal.
From Mark
that is.
P. Is that a P or an R?
I think it's
Anyway, 1954 D Jefferson nickel question. I have this 1954 D Jefferson nickel on the reverse. It looks as though something was on the planchet or in the way when the coin was struck. You will have to see what I am talking about in the photos. Thank you. Well, let's find out. Oh, well, this is an easy one.
Yeah.
This is a lamination error. Basically, you have the metal that was used to create the strip that the planchet was punched out of is separating due to contaminants or a improper alloy mix. This is very common with nickels, usually the wartime nickels, but not always just those. The earlier nickels, I have yet to find it on a newer nickel, but the earlier nickels, you'll see it on the pre-83 cents. Anything basically that's made with an alloy, this can happen, or an alloy mix, I should say. So that's what you have here. It's a lamination error.
Is it lamination or delamination?
Well, I think they're both interchangeable, but I like to use the term lamination when all pieces are present and you can visibly see the separation. I will use the term delamination when the piece is missing. Sometimes those pieces fall off. In that case, I would call it a delamination, but I think the proper term is just lamination.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so we see laminations all the time, Chris, and I've always wondered this question: where in the world did the coin error people come up with the word lamination to describe this anomaly?
Well, that term is used in metallurgy, or however you say that. It's a common term that happens. It's also used when you put multiple layers of something together. You're laminating something. I know I've worked in the plastics industry for a long time, and a lot of times you will take numerous different types of plastics, or you'll take plastics and foil and you'll laminate them together. When they come apart, they delaminate. So I think it's just a general term used to describe multiple layers.
You ever laminate an ID card that you get in the mail for some club that you joined? Laminate a piece of paper to keep it good so you can use a grease pencil on it.
A grease pencil? Wow. You are aging yourself, Carl.
Laminating paper. So.
I did laminate one of those free AOL CDs I got in the mail back in the day.
Oh my God.
Listen,
A
I'm
little
just glad to
memento,
order
you
new
got to make sure it
lamination.
lasts a while.
My wife laminated a lot when she was pregnant.
I laminate all kinds of things. When I print, I see something cool article posted or something, I'll print it and laminate it, and it goes in my album. I'm kind of nerdy that way. I'm a little bit nerdy that way.
We're all nerdy that way, Paula.
Hey Chris, thank you for the explanation. I was in the print industry for 10 years, so my definition of lamination is a covering, like plastic covering that goes onto a sheet of paper or substrate.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's right, but there's often numerous layers. It's not always just one layer. So yeah, I think that's just why they use that term, because you can see multiple layers sometimes. But yeah, that's my take on it anyway.
Ken always said it reminded him of a peeling cuticle. And it does look kind of like a peeling cuticle.
Oh yeah.
But then he would get
as painful as it looks.
Then he would get gross and he would show us his cuticles under the microscope. It was disgusting. Like, you're right. It does look like that. Ew.
Hey, Mark Money Tech. Yes, sir. That is me. I usually have Blue Ridge Sean on my little ID right there on the corner, but today it's just Sean.
He's going less formal today.
Less formal. This is my 3-day weekend aim.
So I'm going to bring something up real quick again. And I'll probably have to bring it up like in every one of our streams. When you send us an email with a question, you're not sending it to Sean. You're sending it to us as a panel because we all look at the emails.
He's our resident superstar, okay? We're just gonna have to deal with it.
I know. But so addressing it to hi Sean, you know, I mean, it's okay, you can say that, but just so to clarify, so you know, Sean's not always the one who answers your email. You get one of us. We consult with each other on emails, and you know, especially if it's a more difficult coin or something like that, or we're just not 100% sure, then we all consult each other and just to make sure you get correct answers when you send us emails. But I've actually gone onto other people's YouTube channels and changed my name right there that you see to not Sean. Sometimes you'll see me under the Q&A channel with that says not Sean.
Yeah, and for the umpteenth time, I will not sign your moves.
Oh my god!
I will.
James Eubanks, that'll be tomorrow, buddy. I just got back like 2 hours ago, so yeah, I was gone all weekend.
We do, however, Sean has his own little folder. We all have our own little folders. And if there is an email that is asking, you know, like, will you sign my boobs? Then we'll put it in Sean's folder. So if it's a specific question that only Sean can answer that you're asking him, because I know on his channel, he now has our email linked on his channel. So I know that a lot of his viewers are sending us emails, but we will forward those on to him. So, but yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. Not that I mind being called Sean. I like the name.
I will sign boobs. I just want to put that out there. All right, let's get on with the coins, right?
Nice segue there, pal.
Here you go.
Oh,
Stop
Paulie, you're gonna need a smaller marker.
I know. Yeah.
All right, I'll read this one from Nush Casa. Maybe I got that right, or I nailed it.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah. 2019 quarter double die obverse. Hello, I hope you can help me. Should I send this coin to any of the grading companies, or is it not worth it? I saw a coin like this in a video of Blue Ridge Sean. Thank you for your time.
Wanda. Wanda's volunteering.
What do we have here?
Oh, it's hot.
Oh, that's a DD.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
That's a good one right there.
Yes, nice.
Is this
Which one is it?
this Dave Kufus?
Huh?
Well, one of the guys in one of my groups is an avid coin roll hunter, and he's been finding some good stuff like this. David Kufus.
This guy's name was Nashkafaka. Ooh. I didn't mean to say that. How do you say it, Sean?
Nush Casa.
Nush Casa.
Nashkafaka.
Kinte.
Like Goose Fraba.
Don't try to pronounce names with cherries in your
That's
mouth.
I mean that's a pretty good one. That's one of the more drastic DDOs I think you'll find on a modern quarter. You know, typically you're going to see the minor ones with the doubled earlobes. This one's pretty good in my opinion. I'd love to find one of these.
Is it? My question is it an American Memorial or a Pictured Rocks or
Yeah,
is
which one
it
is this?
a Salt River Basin?
The American Memorial one is the tougher of the three.
Yeah, I've been through a ton of those looking to find. Oh, wow!
There we go.
Well, what do you know?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff.
The now I did kind of I made sure I loaded up on those Pictured Rock ones. People were finding those left and right, and if it went below less than $10, I picked it up off of eBay because I knew it was going to be in Strike It Rich at some point, and so I started loading up on them.
He had a question about having it graded. I would say that this type of variety speaks for itself when you see it. If you plan to send it to a third-party grader just to have it authenticated or make sure that it is what you think it is, it's not worth the money to do that. There are a lot of varieties, RPMs and double dyes that speak for themselves and need no other authentication. If you were to try to sell this, people are going to realize what it is if the photos represent it well.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm with Carl on that one myself. I'm not a big fan of grading. I think, you know, they have their place. A lot of these the really top varieties, the 69S, the 55, you know, those people are going to want to buy in a slab. Something like this, I just don't think it warrants it. Unless it's a discovery piece, then I think it's kind of cool to be able to send it off and get your, you know, the discovery piece moniker on it. But other than that, I personally wouldn't. But there's plenty of people that would send it off for grading.
Is this a FS listed coin?
I don't think so.
Okay. I didn't know if it was or not.
I think this is a Variety Vista attributed coin, I believe.
But
So it is on there. Either that or what's the other one? Double die.
maybe it'll be in the new cherry pickers. Then.
Could be. Very possible.
It is in Strike It Rich, and that to me is a step towards it possibly being a cherry picker listed one later on. Some, not all. Once they hit cherry pickers, then the third party graders will possibly attribute them on the slab. But you know, even then, you kind of have to weigh out how much, you know, the price guide for it, how much is it worth before you make the determination whether or not you want to send it in for grading.
Yeah, you want to know the value before you do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
In any event, that's an awesome find.
That is an awesome find.
Absolutely.
Patrick, you can send us photos to our Patrick Gogan. You can send us pictures to our email address, and we'll, please don't list things like that in chat. We will certainly look at your coin though.
Yeah, Rodney, it does have to go through Wexler. Not Mike Diamond. He's an error guy.
Yeah, no, Wexler. Yeah, and don't you have to send the letter to PCGS or NGC along?
Yeah, a copy of the letter.
Yes.
Copy of the letter, yeah.
I don't think you'll get the letter back if you send it. So
Now that's only for Annex, right? Annex will do the letter from Wexler, or is it all
Correct.
three?
I believe it's only Annex.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Until it's assigned an FS number, I
Yeah.
believe, then
Yeah, okay.
NGC and PCGS will take those.
NGC does their own though. They do the Variety Plus, so it just depends on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you did point that out before, Adam.
Yeah, Adam's gonna do a video for us. I'm gonna announce it right now, Adam, so you can't back out. Adam's gonna be doing a video for us soon on how to fill out grading forms. I can't speak. Anyway, so watch for it. It may be a year or two from now, but it's gonna happen. So Buster Baggins did you see Buster Baggins had a question?
Yeah. I'll read it here quick. If you have a Cud die break that isn't listed on Cuds on Coins on a bicentennial $50, which is a hot commodity, would you get your name on the site or auction it off and let the buyer have it? Well, once upon a time, I was sending everything I was finding in Cuds on Coins and Wexler as well. I had a bunch of discoveries when I first really started getting hot and heavy in the coin roll hunting, and it was exciting. It was exciting to get your name put on a website that is a well-known, website that many people go to, and it was really cool sharing that with other people and saying, "Hey, look, I have a discovery in my name." And then it kind of just wore off, and now I don't really care. I mean, if I find a major double die, absolutely, I'm sending it in. But die chips, die breaks, small cuds. Nah, I'm not going to do it anymore. It's not really worth my time and the hassle that it was to get the stuff listed. They're very particular about the pictures that you have to take, including lighting, and my pictures are not bad. Believe me, I take decent pictures, and it was just such a struggle to get the listings put on there. It wasn't worth my time anymore.
Yeah, you send your coins, your Cuds on Coins. You don't send your coins there. You have to send them perfect pictures just the way they want them, and it's not
exactly
to do that.
Now Wexler was a little bit easier to deal with the double dies. The only thing that was killing me there was the lead time.
But yes.
I think it's gotten better now, but there was a time where he was
2 to 3 months.
And honestly, that's a lot quicker than it was last year. I mean, last year you were talking 6 to 9 months lead time on a minor double die discovery. It just really wasn't worth it for me. I have a whole box full of stuff that isn't listed anywhere, and eventually maybe I'll send it out, or eventually maybe I'll sell it to a guy like Chris Hurley and he can put his name on it. I don't even care anymore.
I know somebody that might be looking for new listings to put on their site someday.
Yeah, well, that's true too. That's true too. There is a new database that might be coming out shortly, so maybe I'll save them for that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much what you're willing to deal with. If you're willing to deal with, taking multiple pictures of the same coin until you perfect it, then by all means send it into Cuds on Coins. If you're willing to wait 3 to 6 months to get your coin back with the letter, then by all means send it to Wexler. If you're willing to pay $10, send it to Variety Vista. So it's kind of a personal preference.
Yep. Okay. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah, just make sure you hold on to the letter when they send it back. That way, if you get a discovery and you decide you want to send it in and get it slabbed with the discovery, you've got that piece of paper.
I'm not going to read this one.
Go for it.
From BMP 804 regarding 1970 Denver FS 101. I attached a document with a 1970D, which I believe is the DDO FS 101, but NGC did not seem to agree. Any insight would be great. Thanks.
Let me check. I have a feeling.
Well, the first question I have is, did this person pay for the variety attribution? Just because it's not on the slab doesn't mean that it's not it.
Yeah, isn't that like another $18 to ask for a variety to be put on?
Well, it's definitely an extra charge.
It's $15.
Yeah.
Hey, Paula, just real quick. Marked Money Tech says that my channel link is not working in the description.
Oh shoot. Okay. Remind me, and I'll go in and fix that after.
All right.
Probably because I started to put your blog instead of your channel link.
Okay.
Your channel, right?
What's that?
You don't use your channel.
No, I mean there are still some informative videos on there though, Paula.
Oh, okay. Well, should you want me to put both the blogspot and your channel on the description?
Whatever you want to put on there is fine with me.
I'll put your home
Can I
address.
look at that date on there?
So, Mark, I just put in his blogspot, and then it's Chris's coin channel. It's his YouTube channel, so.
I can always tell this one by the 7.
Yeah, and the 0.
Oh,
Yeah, it does. I mean, from the pictures, it looks like it is a variety.
Yeah, that W and we was
Well,
right.
look at the one. That I think that the picture that he sent us, the one really shows it.
So it is the FS 101, and I don't think that because they graded it details makes a difference.
No, that is not that. As long as he paid for the variety attribution,
Yeah, I don't
they
think.
will put it on the slab. Now, I have had issues when I've graded varieties myself. I do it quite a bit where they miss it. It does happen, and then you have to resubmit it. Unfortunately, that it's kind of a it's sad that you have to do that, but
Because I've sent bicentennial quarter DDO, and it received details because of the ring of death on the front.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what this one has also.
And it was to PCGS, but I did mark the variety box on PCGS form.
Are those the new pictures that you sent, Amanda?
These are the old ones that Jeff fixed. So his
Yeah, this was
is on,
this
this
is
one is on the left, and the listing is on the right.
yeah. He tried to help us out, and he gave us the Wexler pictures.
Yeah, I know. I saw the new, just one of the new ones that he sent us, and it really shows in the we, in the W, on the new pics. And I
mean,
love
there's no doubt it's the variety.
Yeah.
So
No, it's
they
not.
blatantly missed this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate, but it does happen.
Somebody
Yep.
was having a bad case of the Mondays.
Yeah, they're human just like us. So everybody makes mistakes, including them.
What's
So
the
can,
grade on this
can you
one?
call them? Can you call them and tell them, hey, I know for a fact this is what it is, and you
You
guys,
can. So here's what you would do with NGC.
here's the new ones.
You would take really good photos, kind of like what you did here,
Mhm.
send them over to the customer service department. They have a email that you would send it to, and they would look it over and they would say, okay, yeah, it looks like we missed this. Please send it back in. They usually give you a shipping label to ship it back to them, and then they'll go ahead and fix the problem. But sometimes they're hard to deal with. So, but maybe be a little bit adamant about it, and they might go ahead and work with you on it. But
Yeah.
it's clearly the variety. There's no doubt about that.
Mhm.
I'd kind of approach it like I do everything else. You're talking to customer service. I'd start off with an extremely nice, easygoing tact. If I feel like it's not going my way, I might kind of amp it up a little bit and not get ugly. That's not going to get you anywhere. But
Yeah. Got a nice clash, too. You can see it on the obverse and the reverse.
But they did give it a grade of XF. And
XF?
yes, so now XF details. So now you have a ballpark for value if you wanted to sell it and just let the photographs sell it.
And
That's
I'm going to
true.
be honest, this coin is very valuable.
Yep, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In a
I found 2 of these. and I sold them raw.
What'd you sell them for, Carl?
I sold them raw condition for over $200 each.
Wow.
As well as I found 2 bicentennial DDOs, and the same guy has all 4 of them now.
Wow.
And there's just not a lot that have been graded. I mean, for an AU50, PCGS's suggested value is over $1,100.
Hey, Carl, how long ago did you sell your 2 examples?
It was early last year, in 2020.
Before the boom, huh?
Before the COVID, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, the COVID boom.
But yeah, this is a nice variety, though.
Yeah,
so
it's
nice.
Very nice.
Hey guys, just Carl made a really good point in the private chat. I think we should all take a look at it, and we're probably going to have to discuss that at some point in time.
Oh, secret squirrel stuff.
Well, it's not secret if we all have access to it, but it is pretty important, and he makes a really good point. So I just wanted to make sure everybody checks that out quick.
Okay, that's a good point.
I don't know. Yeah, that was
excellent find. It sucks that they missed it on the slab. It also sucks that it has the ring of death. This happens to me all the time. It's like mixed emotions. I love going through mixed circulated bankrolls. That's my bread and butter. That's what I love going through the most because I like variety. I can't go through rolls and rolls of the same date. I just can't do it. So with that, you get a lot of crappy coins, and unfortunately, I'll find an awesome variety, and it's got a scratch on it, or it's toned ugly, or it's got the ring of death. It never fails. It's like there could have been one of that variety in the entire roll. What are the chances that it was face out on the end of the roll? Pretty high. So, oh well.
Amazing find.
Still a cool find. That's
congratulations. That's awesome.
Okay, this one's from Kickstar regarding my error cent. My 1980 something Lincoln cent weighs 3.1 grams. I had to weigh it to find out it was a 1980. Thanks.
So he actually sent us this email during our live stream last week with Joe. I think he kind of wanted to show it to Joe, and we don't read our emails during the show, so I didn't know. And I think he was trying to tell us in the chat, hey, you guys, I sent something. So sorry about that, Kickstar.
Well, that's a really cool off center. I'd say that's probably about 50, maybe 40 to 50% off center. What's really cool about this is you use deductive reasoning to figure out what the date was. In my eyes, I look at this real quick. I see 2 possibilities. I see 1980 or I see 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And a real quick check with the scale, and you eliminated one of those dates, so you immediately figure out what it is. Other dates aren't so easy. There's a few different ways you can check to find a date on a partial date off-center coin. Always look at the design of the coin on the front and the back, specifically the designer's initials. There's many changes made to those throughout the years, and it can help you narrow it down. You might not get the exact date, but it'll definitely help you narrow it down. They always have significantly more value if you know the date. If this were a 50% off-center coin with no date showing, you're talking about a $5 or $10 coin, max. With the date showing in the condition it's in, you could probably get maybe $20 or more for this coin. Now, one thing I like to look at here, there's a little bit of an indentation at the very bottom of this picture on that coin, and I'd love to take a closer look at that. I've actually come across a couple of these in the past that turned out to be saddle strikes. Not saying this one is, but it's always something to look at. There's definitely some deformity down towards the bottom of the planchet there. So personally, I would take a closer look at that.
Yeah, he said he forgot to send us reverse photos.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Very cool, though.
Yeah, the big reason why that these have been selling really well with a full date is you do have collectors that collect these by date.
By date. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of collectors make those the clock out of them too.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. I would love to do that someday. And it would be cool to do that with a specific date. I mean, that would make it that much harder to.
Oh wow! Talk about a challenge.
Yeah. But I've seen them. I've seen them. I've seen the clock thing done with clips. I've seen them done with off centers. Yeah, so they're super. Just the K12 thing, which is really cool. So it does have a dish effect, he said. Well, send us pictures, Kickstart, just to satisfy Chris's curiosity. I'll make sure he sees them.
Thank you.
Send us those pictures of that area, because he's not going to sleep tonight if you don't.
No, I'll definitely sleep.
I might.
I got to get up at 4 a.m.
I might not, though. Carl sent me a package, and I still I'm not supposed to know what it is, so I haven't gotten any sleep in 2 days.
Thanks for joining us, Ant.
Oh, was this your PowerPoint?
Yeah, I have a coin here from Clay G.
Do you want to do your PowerPoint real quick then?
Yeah, I'll go speed through this. This is the last one, I assume.
I don't know if Amanda has any more coming.
I have one more.
Okay. Go ahead, Carl.
This was posted on the Coin Q&A Facebook group, and the subject was a 2013 Philly Great Basin National Park Quarter Double Die Reverse. Clay asked, a 2013 Nevada Great Basin Quarter with doubling on the bottom of both right branches' leaves. I see no attributions that match. Any and all help is appreciated. Clay's coin turned out to be the Wexler's WDDR 003 and DDR 003 on Variety Vista. I think I'm blocked.
Huh?
There we go.
There it is.
There we go. This is a Class 8 double die, the resulting of a tilted hub in the hubbing press. I'm not blocking that, am I? Can you still see it in full screen?
No,
Yeah, we did.
All right. Other examples of Class 8 double dies are things like the doubled earlobes on Washington quarters, doubled columns on Lincoln Memorial cents, the doubled thumbs on the 2009 Lincoln commemorative cents. This is Clay's coin, his photographs. This is what the Great Basin overall reverse looks like. And these are the areas in question on his coin, on the lower branch and on the upper right branch along the bottom edges. We'll talk about the WDDR3 first in the America the Beautiful Quarter Series. These are pictures of coins I have. And this is the DDR 003 we'll talk about first. And these are the same areas in question from Clay's coin. And these are the close-ups of that area. And it's going to be this area down here, I think. So all of these little tiny earlobes, if you want to call them.
Well, that's a great description.
Class 8 doubling on the lower branch. Here's the tree trunk. Here's the right side of that lower branch, extending out into there. This is the upper branch. And so that was DDR3. Anybody want to talk about that one or chime in about the Class 8 double dies or before we?
No, but I love that earlobe description. That was fantastic.
I just think, there's a lot of doubling on this coin that people most people would probably miss.
Mhm.
So, Ant actually makes a good point right there. Typically Class 8, or as some refer to a Class 9 doubling, typically occurs in the center of the coin. They keep saying that the only thing you're going to see from 2006 on is the Class 8 or 9 doubling.
They're talking about the single squeeze era, aren't they?
Single squeeze era.
96,
Yep, and they're saying that.
on?
Yeah, they're saying that that's the only thing you're going to see. But now that quarter we saw earlier today,
Yeah.
to me, doesn't fit that moniker. So something else is still going on at the mint that's giving us these great double dies. So there's still some good stuff out there. To me, this is for a modern coin, this is a fairly strong double die, and a lot of people would look right by this and not think anything of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on Jefferson nickels, I find these in the doorways all the time.
Yep.
I've found some. There's some of them that are really nice, that are very, very exotic looking. That have something a little bit more than just a little tiny piece of metal sticking out. It's got a lot more going on.
Yeah, that was a great.
Nice presentation, Carl.
Presentation, Carl.
I wasn't finished.
Oh, you were? Oh,
It was so good we had to stop it.
sorry.
There are 6 WDDRs in total, and I will go through and show examples of the remaining 5 if you don't mind. Unless you got to be someplace.
I don't have to be anywhere.
Let's do it.
WDDR 1 and 2 are very similar in the same areas, up in the center of above the tree trunk. So this is WDDR 001. Moving to the right on that branch. Here's DDR number 2 in the same area, and then it's got a little doubling here along this bark of the branch here as well. All these little earlobes all along there. Here's the tree bark. And we've already did DDR3, so this is DDR number 4, and the doubling is along the tree trunk. This is the most elusive one that I have trouble finding. This is the WDDR4. And this is the 4 as well, up on this branch here as well. And this is the close-up of the tree trunk. I'm gonna pat myself on the back here. I submitted WDDR number 5 to Wexler's. And so this was my coin and my submission. And here are the earlobes along that top of the center branch. And you'll notice that this is very close and resembles number 6, which is next, along the same area. It's just a little different. And that was my coin submission as well.
Very cool.
Oh, wasn't that nice?
I enjoy trying to find these and put them together in sets. And then, like I said, it's that number 4 is always keeping the set from being complete. I find a lot more 3s than any others, but it's the 4, when I find one of them, I get excited about.
Now,
Oh,
is it just me, or should there be more DDRs on this particular quarter just because of the way
You
it's
would think so,
detailed
huh?
with all the leaves? You know, it kind of reminds me of, what is it, the Minnesota state quarters with all the little tree variants? Like, there was a ton of them. I think I looked the other day. There's a lot.
I haven't found a single one, and trust me, I go through every single Minnesota state quarter looking for those stupid things. But I'll find Harper's Ferry in Nebraska all day long, or the
Harper's Ferry.
Saratoga.
There's a ton of different window pane, or that's Homestead. Sorry.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at the Great Basin quarters, I'm not looking around the other branches. I'm looking where I know they're going to be. So I'm probably failing at looking elsewhere on the coin. Huh. That's a good point.
That was awesome. Are you done now? I just want to make sure.
Checking. Thanks for checking. I appreciate it.
No, I just want to make sure. I know like.
In Carl's defense, we do have 25 minutes. So.
Well, I just didn't want to okay.
Can I show them what I found in my belly button? I put it in.
I want to say.
Just a minute.
Did you guys see what Carl made me?
Which one's it in?
Here, Carl made me.
Oh my God. PDS.
Now you need a W.
Right? That's fantastic.
Started with a D.
They're all copper. That could either be the mint marks or it could be planted die strike. I mean, there's so many. It's like, yeah. Anyway.
And one thing I want to point out about what Carl had going on there, he learned the coin. He learned how to recognize the TDRs on the coin, and eventually it led to him discovering his own.
That's right.
The same thing happened to me with the Harper's Ferry quarters. I learned you look in the window panes, there's going to be DDRs there. And wouldn't you know it, I found a couple that were undiscovered previously.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple hundred were discovered after that. So, yeah, Sean, you made a good point. There's definitely more of those out there. No doubt in my mind. That's a real detailed design. And there's definitely some out there. But once you know what to look for, the problem with these coins is you're getting 4 or 5 different designs every year. So there's a lot to look for. And if you learn individual designs and where to look, you'll find them. You'll get discovery pieces. So
I refuse to go looking at the Connecticut State Quarter with that tree on the back of that one.
Wow.
I'm looking for DDRs on that one.
Shut up, Frank. Whatever. Okay, so we have one more, Amanda?
Yes.
I'll read this one from Element 47, 1965 Washington Die Clash. Hello, fellow coin connoisseurs. I don't really have a question about this. I just got excited when I found it because it's been a while since I found anything in the wild. I've been going through this collection I bought for like a month now, and I haven't done any hunting since I've obtained the collection, but I wanted to share it with someone. Anyway, here is a pretty cool clash. You can see quite a bit of Washington's head on the reverse, and you can see part of the eagle's wing on the obverse near Washington's chin and the motto. But I wasn't really able to capture it in photos. Anyways, here it is. And I have the same problem with some clashes. They're difficult to pick up. You got to get the lighting just right. Oh, so I see somebody else uses the BCW peel and stick 2x2s like me.
You know, I thought about using those because everybody knows how I feel about staples anyway. But I've heard some theories on them that over time some of that glue could leach out onto the coin and stuff. So I'm a little, it worries me. I never used them because of that.
I actually had a conversation 3 weeks ago with somebody from their customer service department and their, I guess their R&D department or whatever, and they did a lot of testing with that adhesive. It's not like something that they said that will leach out gas on the coin. Because I've had people who've seen my video that I did on those have made comments, and I actually did reach out and got some information on them. They were actually very forthcoming with that.
Oh, Eric said he got some of them, might have been old stock because they didn't stick.
I find that once you put them together, you can't pull them the hell apart.
Do not buy the dollar size. The dollar size is terrible. I've complained about it.
Oh, really?
With them, yes. It doesn't fit the coin properly. It's the stock is way too thin for a silver dollar. The other sizes are great. They're wonderful for quarters. They're wonderful for everything else. You just have to make double damn sure you press the stickum side down really, really hard. Even use like a roller or something to kind of roll over it just to make sure they, not over the coin side, but around the coin to make sure it sticks really, really well. Let's see the clash.
Yep, you can see it there.
On that, see that wing?
On the wing.
On the right. Right above the leaf on that wing feather.
Yeah, you can even see the Washington's chin there on the left side of the breast in the wing area.
Yep.
Wow, that's quite strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, dollar 2x2s in general just plain suck, period. They're just not big enough.
I used to use the capsules.
We got this coin, and then I saw, I want to say 3 other very similar clashes in our Facebook group, all in like the same week. It's so funny how that it works that way. Like certain errors and varieties. I mean, you'll see like you see one and then you'll see a bunch more all in like the same week. It's like they run in. I don't know if there's people are looking for them for they see a video and maybe they're looking for them harder or something, but it seems like they run in like these cycles. It's really strange. That's a cool one. I think this one's listed on Mad Die Clashes too. I don't know what happened there.
I think we talked more about the flip that it's in than we talked about the coin.
I think so.
Does this have a little of that dye transfer on it too? It looks like it does.
PIDT up there by his forehead.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was just looking at the strike. I usually don't see a decent strike on 65s. When they started striking sandwich clad, they really had a tough time getting strikes right.
Very cool. Sorry, the coin's not bothering me. That was rude. Like my new little toy.
Apparently, we have a cricket problem.
I like the cricket.
Who's in the
I
fort?
like this one. But
I will say this. Element just happened to say that, it's been a while since he found anything neat or interesting in the wild.
me
Man,
too.
sometimes you get in those kind of ruts. I think I'm currently in one right now. I can't find anything. Not saying it's to save my life or anything, but sometimes you just get in those doldrums. But the age-old saying is, if you keep at it, things are going to change and your luck will turn, and you will find things like that die clash and crickets.
And cricket.
Variety, 1965.
This
Maybe
time last year, I
it'll be
was
a transitional 90% silver for you.
this time
I'll tell
last
you what.
year I was cherry picking snow varieties on Indian head scents. I mean, 10, 15 a week. Right now, I couldn't find one to save my life for some. It's just been the way it's been going.
See, case in point. So you just get in those ruts. Yeah.
Don't be discouraged.
I have found that my ruts usually lead to a really good find. So, when I'm finding a lot of stuff, it's always minor. Still cool to find, but when I have a long period of time when I'm not finding anything, I usually, bam, find something real good. And it brings me right back down to reality, baby.
Hey, speaking of which, Chris, why don't you tell everyone about your recent acquisition?
His girlfriend?
I didn't buy her. I did not.
No, I meant your coin collection. Yeah, as fetching as your lady is in this conversation. No, I guess you picked up a little collection, didn't you?
Oh, well, okay. So I've been going to a dealer in a town I used to live in. This guy is like super big time into bullion. He's the guy that all of the other dealers at the shows go to. But he has a brick and mortar store. He's been in business for a very long time. He's got to be over 80 years old, and the sucker is probably in better shape than me. So I go into his store all the time, and the only thing I could ever buy from these guys was like BU rolls or old bank rolls or whatever. He'd sell me rolls, and I'd be drooling at all the other stuff I see sitting around, and he wouldn't sell it. I don't know why. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of merchandise sitting around in boxes and bags and stacks everywhere. And he just wouldn't sell it. And for some reason, I walk in one day and I asked him if he had anything going on. And he said, yeah. He said, I got a deal for you. He said, I offered this to 3 people and they all said they wanted it and they never came back for it. He showed it to me. He gave me a price and I said, I'll take it. So that was deal number 1. It was a pretty good deal. I bought 1 U.S. Post Office crate full of coin albums. And inside these albums were coins. I mean, they were pretty well full. There was proofs in them. It was a really good collection. So I went back in 2 weeks and he had another deal for me. This time I bought 4 of those crates loaded with albums. And I'm still trying to sell that stuff off. Like, holy crap. And by the way, guys, I'm not searching any of this. None of it. It's simply passing through my hands. So anybody that bought any of that from me or is buying any of it from me, I'm not searching it. So who knows what you're going to find.
What's the name of your group on Facebook again?
Coin and Currency Sales and Trades. Thank you for the free plug opportunity.
And it's a great group. I buy on that group. It's a great.
You know what? I'd actually like to talk about the group just for a minute, and
Go ahead.
only because I started that group a couple years ago when I was still involved in another group of people similar to this, but not as good. And I created the group to try to grow that name and that business, and it didn't work out for me there, but I was the owner of the group, so I took it with me when I left. And we decided that we were only going to let experienced sellers sell in the group. We were going to do what we could to do background checks on these people and make sure we had only the best sellers in the group. And it was slow going, but it's up over 8,000 members now. It's really running well. It almost runs itself because I've not allowed any of the riffraff and the bottom feeders into the group. And when they do show up, they do show up. They get booted out right away. So it really is a great group. And even though I created it, it's there for everybody to use, and it's a safe place for people to buy and sell coins without any fees, because a big online retailer is just killing people with fees anymore, and they're making it to the point where people don't want to sell on that platform, and it's a shame. They're going to lose a lot of business, but at any rate. So I'm still trying to get through this last deal.
Which explains why the web address is what it is.
Yeah, I can't change it. Once you create that, you cannot change it. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with that. Yeah, I swing a gnarly banhammer. That's right. I try to be fair, but if you're an asshat, you're going. Sorry.
Well, we say it a lot. We're protective of, we're protective of our viewers in here. We're protective of our friends on YouTube. We're protective of the people in our groups. We're protective of this hobby, and that's our nature. How all of us on the panel are, and I don't think any of us would be any other way. This hobby is important to all of us, and we try to protect it. So,
since I created that sales group, I've seen a lot of other groups come and go, and
yeah,
I think we're doing something right because it's continuously growing. I've almost never have any trouble in that group with scammers or anything like that. So I'm pretty proud of it. It's not the best one out there. There's much bigger groups, but it's definitely a good one, and it's a quality group.
Yeah, I sell all the time in that group.
And it's well managed.
It's very well managed.
I don't
it's
even
never too big where there's never an admin to help you if you have an issue with someone.
Yeah.
The structure, the way it was built, and I wasn't the only one that we had a group of people that had ideas, and we built a structure for that group, and it works. It actually is running itself at this point. The only thing I really have to do is add new sellers to the list and minor stuff, but it's running itself, and yeah, I'm really happy about it. As a matter of fact, there's a couple other people that have stolen a lot of our ideas and created groups similar to it, but that's okay with me. As long
I
as
think the biggest issue I've seen in your group is when they asked for timestamps to be checked.
Yeah, and honestly, that's not a big deal at all. But back to the original question, I'm really excited. I took back all of those postal crates that the guy wanted back, and he's working on 3 deals for me now. So, whew, this is getting big time now. I mean, I had my whole floor covered with albums trying to organize them and create little lots and stuff, but pretty exciting.
I picked this one up at my local coin shop, Chris, and tell me if you like this one. I'm going to share screen.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing that before, Carl. Weren't you trying to create
that's hot.
Did I get a good deal?
Yeah, I've seen that before. Well, you know what? I probably have a few of those that could help add to your collection if you really want them.
You know what, though? I bet you that it was some kid that, young kid that was just starting to get into coin collecting, and
I thought Carl built this book, didn't he?
Yeah, I did.
Did you really?
Thanks,
was
Zach.
I remember him showing this before.
He was a
long
kid
time
at heart.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Did you build him out of that roll of improperly annealed?
No, those are ones I just had questions about. They were darker than the others.
I really like that one there, the rusty one.
Thank you. That'll be $15 to you, sir. Do I hear 16?
Well, you know what? This is actually a good visual aid for anybody who's watching that doesn't know what an environmentally damaged or toned coin looks like.
Well, I posted
That's perfect.
3 different posts on the Q&A Facebook page of pennies, nickels, and quarters. They're all there in the down the scroll as long down there earlier this year. So
This is what they look like when I dig them up out of the ground. Even for short, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Yeah.
Stop staring, right, Frank?
Thank you for indulging me. I show those to my friends when they come over if they want to see my coin collection, and they think I'm special.
They're like, oh, nothing to see here, folks.
Wow, instantly I got a bunch of requests to join my group. So thanks for the
I know, I see
It's a good group. I mean, they got a lot of good stuff in that group.
People are in there like, oh, I just sent a request. I just sent a request. Well, was that our last email?
I think so.
It was.
Does anybody have anything else that they want to add? Stay tuned next week because we will have our guest on next week. In case you guys weren't here, I know some of you probably missed it when we talked about it, but he's actually on the road right now, so he tried to join us over and over and over before we went live, and he just could not get a stable connection, so he's going to be on next week. So, but it'll be exciting, so you got to stay tuned and watch because it's pretty special.
It's gonna be crazy. It's almost as special as finding 10 grand under the bed. I mean, come on now.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Or something like that.
I hope I find 10 grand here.
I hope you do too, Jeff.
I'd just be happy to find $10.
You know, there's a good point. You know, a lot of people think that we take pride in telling someone, no, that's not what you think it is, or no, that's not worth what you think it is, but they're completely wrong. We get just as excited as you guys do when you find something good, because it actually shows us that there's hope out there for all of us.
Yeah.
You find something really good, you know, I'm excited for you, and I know we all feel the same way. So,
and furthermore, we want you to win. We want you to find that awesome error or variety. We don't sit here and conspire and say, oh, geez, you know, that looks like crap, and you know, none of that stuff. We want everybody to get their collective lion's share in their finds. You know, whether it's a $1 coin or a $10,000 coin. You know, we want to see that the hobby is traveling in a very, very fluid direction where it's based on education and all these other great foundations. You know, we care about your guys' finds, and we take the time to address it. So,
Yeah,
trust me, when you find something good, I'm looking for it.
yeah.
What happens if you have people telling you, you know, they lie to you and tell you your coin is something that it's not, and then down the road you find out here you've been bragging about this coin to all these other people, and you find out the truth down the road. Well, you're going to be really upset and really discouraged, and maybe not even want to be in the hobby anymore. So we're not doing you any favors by not being honest with you.
No, we don't want you to leave the hobby, because, you know, there are some of us that are getting along in the age that, you know, we obviously have to pass this off to someone else. So why can't it be you?
I just want to bring something up. If you're trying to join our Facebook group, make sure you answer all the questions, because if you don't, you won't get approved.
Yeah, please. Good point, Adam.
We want to know that your intentions are in a good place on the group. We want quality people that are looking to take the next step.
And we run a pretty tight ship in that group too. Please don't be rude to any of the admins and don't be rude to any of the other members, because you don't get a second chance. We don't tolerate that. So, and hopefully everybody appreciates that, because we don't like it when people are rude to each other. So.
Yeah.
Is that a super chat from Sheila?
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sheila. Woohoo! Super chat, super chat.
That's going to go to Chris's beef jerky fund. Thank you.
My belly's big
Thank
enough.
you very much,
Yeah.
Sheila. That was super sweet.
Very sweet.
Wow.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it at first. I'm like, what is that big orange thing on there? Oh my God.
Oh, very good.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I think we're going to wrap it up, guys.
Yep.
Thank you very much for coming. And I know there's, like Sean said, there are hundreds of other YouTube channels on right now, and we are honored that you picked us to spend your time with
Yes,
tonight.
thank you.
We very much appreciate it. So, on that note, anybody? Nope.
Good night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
We will be back again next Monday, so we hope to see you there.
That's
Night,
right.
John Boy.
Be there. Be square.
Like,
Be square.
subscribe, and hit that bell, and tell your friends if you like our content.
Good
All right,
night.
guys.